Because we got a guy that's been he has his own segment when he want to have it. it's actually in the studio. His name is Chuck too. It's Chuck Jones, Sideline Stories. What's up, Chuck? How you doing, brother?
What's going on, family? What's going on?
What's going on, man? How you doing, man? You all right?
Man, I'm doing great this morning. I'm doing great, man. Y'all go ahead and show my boy Big G. Ging is back, y'all. Y'all go ahead and show him some love, too, man. You know, I'm with that DC Go-Go.
Is it right?
See there?
Oh, man.
She's always looking for new Go-Go, so anyone you got, just send it to her.
Any new Go-Go's, we trying to upgrade that. Matter of fact, we see how you got our. Are you texting?
Not that anything's wrong with his current playlist.
Right, because he gets a little sensitive, but we. He don't think
he's gonna turn off y'all's mic.
He's done it before.
Just saying, you got to coordinate.
But let's coordinate this. Chuck, what's going on, man? What you got going on? We got some special guests for you there. No, that's right, man.
Man, listen, I'm super happy to have Coach Byron Williams in here from Word of God Christian Academy. Byron's a longtime friend of mine, and the new coach at Word of God. You know, Word of God always does a great job over there with coaches, choosing coaches. One of the best jobs that I've seen in this area, to be honest with you. And they didn't make a mistake today with Byron. Coach.
Indeed, Chuck. That was a great intro. You absolutely right. They got the right guy for the right job.
Couldn't have said it better myself,
They did
Coach.
a good job this time. They did a good job.
Well, Coach, man, I've been knowing you for a little while, and the one thing I can say about you, for those that don't know, you're not scared of the devil. Now, you're not scared of anything. And I looked at your schedule now. I just want to know what was on your mind, man. You got the toughest schedule in the country. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. I thought it had to be a misprint.
So go to what kind of players, what kind of teams you playing this year that may challenge you a little bit in terms of why you picked this schedule?
First of all, I'm gonna be honest. I'm an honest guy. I was out of my mind when I did the schedule. To be honest, man. But a lot of our kids, I think, that's what they wanted. They chose to come to Word of God to take the next step in their basketball career. But we probably gonna play at least 12 nationally ranked teams.
Wow.
We're in several big time tournaments back to back. It's gonna be super duper challenging. Probably about 41 games on our schedule. You know, once again, about 12 ranked teams.
Oh man, we're talking head basketball coach, Word of God, Byron Williams. Coach, when do you guys get started?
November 2nd.
Okay.
Is our first game. We're in the Jamboree down in Wilmington.
Wow, man.
Yes, sir.
Well, I see you got a couple of players here with you, though, man. So, apparently, I know look like they can ball. So you want to talk about who you have with you?
Man, looks can be deceiving. No, man, this I got my sophomore point guard, Khalil Marshall. From out of Pender County.
Okay.
And I got the great American himself, Saquon Good Harris.
Okay.
He out of Garner.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh man.
Well, the guy that you really want to talk about, I heard you talking about you signed Caleb Love, but the biggest player on Carolina's wish list right now resides in Word of God with Isaiah Todd. So Roy Williams has a cot over there in the gym right now. He sleeps so much.
Yes, sir. Big sexy, man. Big sexy. Man.
That's what they call it, big sexy.
Man, Mr. Isaiah Todd, man, he's a great American, man. I was really lucky that he decided to choose Word of God, especially in year one. But just a fantastic kid, man. His basketball ability and his upside, you know, is amazing. But what's most impressive about Isaiah is him as a person. Man, he's a different cat, throwback, honor student, just mannerable, man, easy to coach. And he set the tone for the program.
Again, we talked to Chuck Jones and Byron Williams here during the Chuck Jones segment, Sideline Story. So, what do you think enticing was just your pitch about being more holistic program that you can provide for them? That's why he decided to come over?
The funny thing, I've been a member of Word of God for 22 years.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
from Tallahassee, Florida.
Okay.
I played basketball at Shaw when I came up. I took a liking to Bishop Frank Summerfield. And the current pastor is Mitch Summerfield, is one of my best friends.
Yes.
So it's really an easy transition. I've been associate head coach at Shaw University for the last 4 years. Just an easy transition. I thought the time was right.
Wow.
Coach, one of the questions I had, you were talking about some of the young men that you're bringing in, and you're talking about some of the young men that kind of set the tone for the program. Talk about that tone for the program and what that actually means, you know, because, you know, everybody's mind that could be differently. But talk about the tone for the program that's at Word of God.
The tone for the program is like we tend to try to do things right. My job, which having 11 years of college coaching experience, is to challenge these guys to be ready from high school and taking the transition to college. Just setting the tone, for instance, like Isaiah Todd, he does things right. Mm-hmm. And then anytime your best player does things right, the younger kids tend to fall in line.
Yeah.
He set the tone prior to me. He's a workaholic. He actually our best player, and can't nobody outwork him. So that really sets the tone.
Yeah, that really sets the tone right there. And the mentality of the other players to kind of adhere to.
Yeah.
Well, I saw Juwan Howard in the gym last week. I know he was out at Michigan, so a lot of Carolina fans are a little nervous right now. You gonna say something to make us feel a little better about that thing?
Man, only thing I could say, when Juwan Howard came to see him, he was on fire. He was on fire, and John left happy. He did take a visit to Michigan last weekend. I think he taken a visit to Kansas this weekend. But, this Carolina country, man. I don't know why you can't keep a kid home.
So obviously in the recent news, we've heard about pay for play and whether, student athletes in college should be compensated for their name, image, and likeness. What's your take on that? Seeing as how you're interacting with these kids before they get to college, where that hype begins to grow.
Actually, I'm neutral. It's more a situation for me. The NCAA got a very complicated thing on their hands. It's hard to settle it anyway. I actually think the way it's going now, it's kind of like a record deal. 10, you sign 10 kids, it's only going to be 2.
Yeah,
that really get smash hits.
Yep.
I think more so as parents and student athletes, they have to be they got to take advantage of the opportunity that's presented to themselves. A Division I scholarship is a really amazing thing. I think most kids don't truly take advantage of the opportunity.
Yeah, Coach, you just mentioned a Division I scholarship, and a lot of kids don't take advantage of the opportunities. Having a lot of a number of young people coming through the program, all different stages, all different ages, of course, but all trying to get that journey, take the next step to Division I. At each step along the way, what would you suggest for each, for young people coming in to kind of stay focused on that goal?
It's a multitude of things, man. And I think each player could be slightly different, but it's really focused, man. You got to be focused on your particular goals. I ask all my players to give me 5 goals that they plan on accomplishing in the next 5 years, and that's how I coach each player. I coach the player towards that particular goal, they're trying to get to. It's also, I believe, I try to simplify most things, man, and it's 2 ways. Either you can use basketball or basketball going to use you. You got to look at basketball and you got to use the opportunity. Me and Chuck, we ex-athletes. You got to use that thing to get to the next platform you got in life.
Wow.
Well, hold on. I don't want to leave. Errol, I know he's a Alabama A&M Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
He gonna let you know too after he leaves. So
yeah, exactly. That's part of my flex. I do that.
Be Arrow Reese.
According, I flex twice. That's the one.
That's how you properly use it. Thank you, Sheezy.
But no, again, we talked to Chuck Jones, host of the Sideline Stories, and of course, head basketball coach at Word of God, Byron Williams. And you're right. I guess I was excited knowing you was coming up because a lot of times we hear about a lot of these, Word of God, a lot of these other schools, kind of like off the mainstream a little bit, particularly like part of the, if you will, school system. And I'm wondering, did you parallel with the academic opportunity? The athletic opportunity. I'm assuming there's still parallel expectation academically as well.
Absolutely. One thing that's been good about Word of God, I like to say they do church well at Word of God and they do school well. My job is to bring the business of basketball. I think it's a brand. It's been several high. Everybody say John Wall, which is a phenomenal story.
Sure.
But it's T.J. Warren, Josh Newkirk, Zach Newkirk.
Wow.
Brandon Huffman is playing now. In the last 10 years, It's crazy, man. Crazy stats. Last 10 to 12 years, Word of God had 30 kids that go Division I.
See, that to me.
10 kids go Division II. 10 kids go to junior college. 2 kids currently playing pro now, and T.J. Warren and John Wall.
Right.
And about 6 other kids playing overseas. That's a phenomenal scenario, man.
That is.
And these kids qualify.
Right.
You know, they qualify and go to UNC, Arizona.
Yeah.
So they do school well. They do school well.
I heard a little earlier you mentioned you asked your players for their 5 goals. What are your 5 goals over there? Do you have some things that you aspire to do, in your first year?
Wow, man, I usually be put on the spot. Oh man, in the first year,
your players appreciate that.
I know, man.
And I get him.
The first year, 5 goals. I want to win. I think we won the first goal. I wanted to get the attention of the community back.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get the attention and the hotness that people want to see Word of God. Mm-hmm. I did want to play a national schedule because I think it's a national type program. Mm. Other than that, man, win and win. we only good as our last win.
Wow. Hey, with that being said, like I said, I know your gym is full every night. Are y'all going to play any games in this area? I know I'm just looking at your schedule and a lot of your games out. So when will people be able to actually see you? And I know, you're going to probably have to rent some gyms out and get a bigger space, man, because I know you're going to have some thousands in there. And I know you're playing in the Glaxo also, right?
Yes,
well,
sir.
not the Glaxo, the John Wall, pardon me. I'm showing my age.
Yeah.
Actually. We know what that means when you say Glaxo.
Some people know what it was before Glaxo.
We got about
Carolina. No, the Carolina time. I mean, no, the Raleigh time.
Raleigh time.
Yes, what it was. Yeah.
Y'all took me back. We got about 9 home games, but we're gonna play Ravencross at Ravencross.
Okay.
We consider the John Wall being a home game, right here in Raleigh. So we'll probably get 3 games out of there. We're gonna be in South Carolina at the Chick-fil-A tournament. That's a national tournament as well. We're going to Kentucky, I think 3 separate times to play in tournaments. We're going to Gainesville, Florida, to play in the Gatortown Classic, and we're going to Milwaukee to play Prolific Prep, which is going to be top 5 in the country, and then the next night we're going to play Hillcrest Prep, which will be top 10.
Wow.
So
yeah, Chuck is right.
It's going to be challenging.
You stacking them up there.
Yeah, it's tough. And more so the toughness is we don't have a national team. We got local kids. All our kids are from North Carolina. Had a shot.
A lot of people didn't hear that, Coach. Can you say it again?
Yeah, we got a national schedule, but we got a local team. Mm-hmm. All our kids are from North Carolina. That's going to be challenging, but I got to coach them up.
Yeah.
Got to coach them up.
Yeah, that's a tough skill. Prolific Prep could play in the ACC.
Yeah, they're tough. They're tough.
Because a lot of schools, I see this quite a bit. Kids from Florida and New York and Arizona, and all of a sudden,
all over the place.
All of a sudden, they go to high school in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I'm not calling nobody out. I'm just saying, yay, great. You can recruit all over the country to create a high school team. Great, yeah. So shout out to you. Congratulations for doing that, and I wish you the best for doing that. Congratulations on doing that.